Okay, so we're going to be making a fabric folded ornament. You need scissors, something round. I'm using a pot cover. It's something between 6 to 8 inches. Using a pen to mark my lines. Started doing this and then decided, I went through all of this and then decided, maybe I'll do something else. You guys, that took forever. I should probably spread that out. But anyways, I marked it. Then you gotta understand, I do this video in 2 different places, so bear with me. I put the pen cover back and then use the rotary cutter directly on it, so you can do this method as well. Or if you only have scissors, then use the scissors to cut along your lines. I have about 6 fabric pieces stacked on top of each other, so I can cut all at once. Went ahead. I actually also used scissors for part of this because the rotary cutter kept popping back at me. But hey, no worries. However way you can do it, go ahead and cut it. These are my pieces. Oh, my bad. I lied. I had 8 pieces because I did one of these already, and then these were the remaining ones that were left behind. So, anyways, stacked up my colors as I wanted to have them. What you want to do is decide what side you want to be, like your main side or the side that's going to be popping out the flip, and then that's where your little slit is going to go for you to sew around. So you sew all the way around. I use 1/4 inch seams. Then I figured out how to use a sewing machine. Then I use my pinking shears. You can also use this method, which is going and snipping around the seam allowance. So then this allows your piece to fold, to turn right side out flatter. So when you iron it, you don't have anywhere puffing. So I use the shears to go all the way and trim around real close. Then I cut a little hole in the middle there where I'm marking, and I just use a seam ripper to cut that open. Where's my well, I tried to use the scissors and then decided that was probably not a good idea. Got the seam ripper, poked it in, and you want to make sure you only cut in on one side. In this case, the red side is the one that's going to be folded in my taco. When I start doing the sewing, you'll see that part when we get to it. So I went ahead and cut this open, flipped it right side out, very carefully, you know. Then I use my knitting needle that has like a blunt end to stick things through, because the hole is tiny and my fingers are big, so I wanted to avoid any issues. And then, like, I didn't want to tear the hole bigger, so I used the knitting needle to go around and flatten out as much as possible. Then, once this is all flat as I wanted to be, then I took it to the iron and pressed it down. And don't pay attention to the fact that I have different things. This is just showing an image of what it looks like when you flip it right side out. After I ironed it, I folded it in half did I put these pictures out of order? I sure did. Never mind. You can see the mark there. After I ironed it, I flipped the right side out, and then I folded it in half so that I could mark where I wanted to sew up the burrito. So this was just to hold it the very first time I did this. I hope these tutorials get better. I'm not good at doing these. I usually don't do voiceover. I usually just put in words and leave the talking to the professionals, because I'm just trying to show you how to make something that your family and friends would appreciate. So I sewed the corners, and then I brought the other corner, like basically where I have all the markings. I used the needle and thread to sew those pieces together. So then you end up with like a burrito in half, and then another burrito in half. This was all unnecessary right here, but I was trying to do my best to get things. You know, if you want, you can actually like fast forward a little right now, because this is just me trying to get the needle put in the middle spot. I was trying to mark my center in here. This is why I learned after this is set up to like fold it up into fours and mark it ahead of time. So you end up with this fit in this piece when you're done sewing, the ends, and then you're just going to flip out the four corners. Right here, I was finishing up after doing two of the corners, but you will see in a second here that jeez whiz, I got a short attention span, and the dog keeps barking, so excuse me for the noise in the background if you can hear it. But after I sewed the center down and I was happy with it, I flipped this. You want to grab the underside and just maneuver this. You're trying to pull out the corner without flipping everything out, and you're just kind of making a collar around your corner. This is why we did like the 8-inch, because it shrinks down to just under 4 inches by the time you're done. Now my pot cover was actually about 7.5 inches. So I think you end up with like half the size of whatever your initial circumference was. So after doing this, I flattened it, put it on the iron, flatten it some more. You can just tweak with the edges until you get to a happy spot that you like. This really could have been cut shorter. So bear with me another few seconds here as I play with this and try to get it to the flat level that I wanted to. I kept messing with it. Finally, I went to the ironing board to go and flatten it, and we wait. I think I'm going to trim this down. I think I'm going to redo this. But then I don't remember all the stuff I said the first time, so then that's going to really make this really confusing. So, what do you think? We can stare at me, try to fiddle with this. Well, I might just leave it as it is. Whatever. Anyways, flatten it down, iron it down. This is another one that I did. And then I have the button embellishment in there. In this case, I sewed it. But you can also use a hot glue, which is what I did with some of the other pieces. I have a 1/8 inch ribbon that I'm using here. I used like a needle with a fat eye so that I could get the thread through there, and then just worked it through. And you know, don't make a knot. Sew one end in, come back in the other way, and end up with your string area. Then tie a knot on it, and voila. I'm over here showing you how to thread a dang needle, like you don't know how to thread a needle. Oh my gosh. Okay, you know what? I hate long videos, and next time I'll do better. I promise. Stick with me, and I promise I'll do better. There's going to be 14 days of this, and inevitably I'll get better. I hope. If not, then tell your friends to come and follow me to see the silly lady try to do something. But anyway, make a knot. Pull the knot underneath the little head. Cut out any excess pieces. And you got yourself an ornament. And I ended up making 4 of these. You can see the different covers. And those other 2 were glued. And there you go. Ta-ta!